Rangers have kicked off their summer business in serious fashion, with a major defensive deal now reportedly in place, signaling a bold and early move in the transfer window. This latest development comes at a crucial juncture for the Ibrox side, as preparations for the upcoming season intensify behind closed doors. With several key decisions already underway at the club, this agreement highlights not only Rangers' intent, but also their urgency to get ahead in what promises to be a summer full of movement and change. The timing of the move is telling. It's clear the club are eager to set the tone, make decisive calls early on, and avoid the chaotic scrambles that can sometimes define transfer windows. Naturally, the fan base will be watching every move closely, and there's a growing sense that this deal is just the beginning of a wider reshaping of the squad over the coming weeks. There's no doubt the mood around Rangers is shifting, and the arrival of Russell Martin as the club's new manager has brought fresh energy and fresh questions. Unveiled officially just this week, Martin wasted no time setting out his vision, confirming that he expects to see at least 1 or 2 new signings in place before the all-important Champions League qualifier at the end of July. That game will be Rangers' first real test of the 2025-26 campaign, and the timing could not be more intense. With just over a month to go before competitive action returns, the club must move fast, not just to bring in quality, but to ensure that new faces are integrated into the squad and ready to perform when it matters most. Martin, speaking with remarkable honesty in his early interviews, made it clear he's already identified key areas in the team that need strengthening, and quickly. While he's open to being positively surprised by some of the players already at the club, he knows that reinforcements are a must if Rangers are to compete on all fronts. There's no room for half measures or delays. This is a summer where action speaks louder than any words. The manager spoke about the kind of football he wants to implement, and there's a real belief that his system could allow certain players to shine in ways they haven't before. But even with tactical optimism, Martin admitted that fresh blood would be needed, especially before the Champions League tie. And now attention has turned to one of last summer's more high-profile arrivals, Robin Pröpper. Reports emerging from the Netherlands suggest that the 31-year-old centre-back could be on the brink of a return to FC Twente, the club he captained, before making the move to Ibrox. If the reports are accurate, a 3-year contract is already on the table, and momentum behind the deal is building quickly. Although no transfer fee has been disclosed yet, it's beginning to look like Pröpper's. Time in Glasgow could be cut short after just a single season. When Pröpper first arrived last summer, expectations were understandably high. An experienced leader, a proven presence in the Dutch Eredivisie, and someone who was supposed to help plug the gap left by Connor Goldson, he was meant to bring stability and control to Rangers' backline. But despite making 39 appearances across all competitions and even scoring twice, including a memorable goal in a 3-0 Old Firm win over Celtic in January, his spell in Scotland has been mixed. The physicality of the Premiership posed challenges, and injuries didn't help his adaptation. Some inconsistency in his performances brought criticism, and although there were glimpses of promise, he never quite found his rhythm. Now with Russell Martin stepping in and looking to implement a new vision, Pröpper might be moving on before he's had the chance to work under the new boss. It's a reminder of how quickly things can change in football. 1 minute a player is considered central to the project, the next he's on his way back to familiar ground. For Pröpper, a return to Twente offers the chance to reboot his career in a league and environment where he's already proven himself. For Rangers, it's an opportunity to reshape the squad more in line with Martin's ideas, and possibly open up space for new arrivals in defense. Speaking about his appointment, Martin didn't shy away from the pressure. In fact, he welcomed it. He described Rangers as completely different to anything else in football, and said it was the one job he truly wanted when it became available. His time as a player at the club may not have gone to plan, but that unfinished business is now a source of motivation. Martin talked about his desire to show a different version of himself, to do things right this time, and to win over supporters. Not with words, but with results and style. He even admitted that his agent had advised him to play things close to the chest, but Martin had no interest in hiding his ambition. Rangers was his first choice, and he made that known from the outset. All of this comes at a time of significant transition at Ibrox. With a new ownership group now in charge, expectations are high, but so too is the need for patience. Former manager Philippe Clement, in his first UK interview since leaving the CEDAW club earlier this year, made a point of calling for unity and support around Russell Martin. Clement knows better than most how intense the Rangers' job can be, and he believes that if the club wants to close the gap on Celtic and return to sustained domestic success, then stability and backing are absolutely essential. According to the Belgian coach, what's been missing in recent years isn't just results. It's a consistent vision, a long-term plan that everyone at the club can buy into. Clement took over Rangers during a difficult period in October of last year, and despite leading the team to a League Cup win, his tenure was marred by defeats in the title race and in the Scottish Cup final. He believes that constant change has been the club's downfall, and that only with time and commitment can the team reach the level supporters demand. He also reflected on the pressures Martin will now face, drawing on his own experience of walking into Ibrox mid-season. It was, in his words, hectic. He had to immediately connect with the players, speak with the captain, understand the dressing room, and try to change the narrative in a very short space of time. His message to the Rangers faithful was clear: stick with the manager, even when things are tough, because long-term progress only comes with trust and belief. And that brings us full circle. Because the early moves being made now, the transfer strategy being put in place, and the leadership of a new manager all point towards one thing: a club trying to get ahead of the chaos. Rangers are clearly aiming to lay the groundwork for a more stable, competitive future. And if that means saying goodbye to some high-profile names like Prepper in the process, so be it. The new era of Burdock's is underway, and the decisions being made now could well define what's to come, not just in this window, but in the seasons ahead. As Rangers continue to shape their squad ahead of the new season, what's becoming increasingly clear is that Russell Martin has a firm grasp on the scale of the job in front of him. This is not just about plugging a few gaps in the team or making cosmetic changes. This is a full rebuild, a reset of culture and standards that have wavered over the past few years. The incoming manager is facing a complex puzzle, one that requires careful recruitment, clear communication with the dressing room, and a long-term approach that can't afford to be rushed just because expectations are high from the outset. With the Champions League qualifier looming large, there's an immediate urgency. But the broader picture at Ibrox involves laying down foundations that can actually last. The truth is, Rangers have spent too many seasons starting over. Different managers, different systems, and short-term signings have created a revolving door effect that's made it difficult for the club to establish any lasting identity. Russell Martin is walking into a job that demands results, but he's also aware that the real challenge lies in changing the story, shifting Rangers from a team reacting to setbacks into one that drives its own narrative. That's why every transfer matters now, not just in terms of ability, but in character and fit. It's not enough to find good players. The club needs the right players, those who understand what it means to wear that badge and who are willing to fight for something bigger than themselves. Behind the scenes, the ownership transition has brought a new dynamic to the club. The American consortium, now at the helm, has already signaled its desire to modernize operations and invest in infrastructure. But as any Rangers supporter would tell you, none of that matters if the results on the pitch don't follow. There's a real sense of crossroads at Ibrox. The pieces are moving: new manager, new leadership, and soon new players. But unless those elements come together in harmony, the cycle of frustration will continue. It's why this preseason and this summer window in particular carries so much weight. The direction taken over the next 8 to 10 weeks could set the tone for the entire campaign. One of the key themes Martin has touched on is mentality. He wants to bring back the edge, the hunger, the togetherness that defines successful Rangers teams of the past. It's not just about tactics or training methods. It's about creating a squad that holds itself to the highest standards every single day. That's easier said than done, especially in a league as physically and mentally demanding as the Scottish Premiership. But Martin seems up for the fight. He speaks like a man who knows what he's walked into. This isn't a stepping stone for him. It's a shot at redemption both personally and professionally, and he's embracing the pressure rather than running from it. As for the supporters, their role in all this can't be understated. The Ibrox crowd has the power to lift or break a team. They've seen the highs of title wins and European runs, but they've also endured false dawns and painful collapses. Right now, the mood is cautious, but curious. Russell Martin doesn't come with the aura of a proven winner at the top level, but he does bring ambition, clarity, and an understanding of what the job entails. The fans won't be won over by speeches or polished interviews. What they want is a team that reflects their own values, resilience, intensity, and above all, pride in the shirt. There's also the wider context of Scottish football to consider. Celtic remain the dominant force, and the gap between the two clubs has grown in recent years. It's a painful truth for Rangers fans, but one that needs to be faced head-on. Closing! That gap won't happen overnight. It'll take smart planning, disciplined execution, and time. But as Clement pointed out in his recent comments, unity is essential. There's no shortcut to success. The club needs to back its manager, and the fans need to be given a reason to believe that this time things will be different. And that belief will be built not in dramatic press conferences or big-name signings, but in consistency. Week by week, game by game. It's about performances on cold Tuesday nights away from home, about how the team reacts to setbacks and how it carries itself under pressure. That's the culture Martin is trying to build. It's not glamorous, but it's real. It's sustainable. It's how you turn promise into silverware and frustration into progress. In the coming days, we'll likely see more movement in and out of Ibrox. The squad still has imbalances and some contracts need resolving. Certain players will be given fresh chances under the new regime, while others may find themselves heading for the exit. That's natural in any transition, but the key will be making sure every decision fits the larger plan. Rangers can't afford another season of half measures or last-minute fixes. If Martin is to succeed, he needs a squad built in his image. One that can grow together, suffer together, and eventually win together. The next chapter of this club's story is being written right now, not with headlines, but with actions. If the people inside Ibrox can align behind a clear long-term vision, and if the new manager is given the tools and time to bring it to life, there's every reason to believe Rangers can rise again, not just for a season, but for good. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. There's an undeniable buzz swirling around Ibrox this week, with growing whispers suggesting that IANIS HAGI may be harboring deep frustrations with life at Rangers. While nothing official has been confirmed by the player or club, several reports from sources close to the Romanian international indicate that he's been vocal behind the scenes, leveling criticisms at various aspects of his time in Glasgow. The murmurs suggest that HAGI is increasingly disillusioned with his role under the current management setup, feeling perhaps sidelined or underappreciated given his ambitions and previous contributions to the team. Once hailed as a creative linchpin in the Rangers midfield, his involvement has waned in recent months, and with that, so too has his apparent satisfaction with his position at the club. Adding fuel to the fire, it's believed that HAGI has been less than impressed with the tactical decisions and overall direction of the squad. Sources claim he has made several pointed remarks regarding team strategy and selection policies, questioning whether his talents are being fully utilized. While no direct statements have been made in public, those in and around the club allege that these frustrations have been expressed in private conversations and perhaps even during training sessions. Of course, in the often tempestuous world of football, such rumors are not uncommon, and it remains to be seen whether this discontent will manifest in a formal transfer request or public declaration. Yet, the timing of these reports is curious, with the summer transfer window looming and clubs across Europe reportedly keeping tabs on HAGI's situation. Rangers supporters will undoubtedly be watching closely, wondering whether this is merely a passing storm or the early signs of a significant departure. For now, all remains speculation, but as the saying goes, there's seldom smoke without fire. The coming weeks could prove pivotal in determining whether IANIS HAGI's future lies at Ibrox or elsewhere. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.